Done it again, but in fairness, football, it can be cruel, can't it?
Yeah, no, it was a tough game. These moments don't come often for us. We've come up with a few over the years, and today was one of them. I've got to give credit to Wolves, how they stopped us from creating chances, made it difficult for us in the final third, and we're quite direct. And we had to be on our best performance at the back, especially with the transitions, with the counter attacks, and really pleased to win it in that fashion and get on the score sheet again.
Wolves, as you say, though, you need to credit them for their performance, their game plan, and how difficult they made it for you.
Yeah, 100%. They've did it last season. We came here and didn't get the result that we wanted, and that was because of them and how they set up and how they played against us and made it really difficult. Not how they usually play or how we've watched them play from the start of the season. And their points this season don't reflect how they're playing, because they've done 90 odd minutes against us there today, and we thought it was both going away with a point. So credit to them and credit to us for believing and the guys that do set pieces as well.
Exactly that, going right to the end of added time as well, and the way that you all celebrated that goal just goes to show how important the 3 points are for you.
Yeah, 100%. Didn't know what to do, to be honest. I felt it go off my head. It was a bit of a scramble in the box, and yeah, so nice to celebrate with my teammates like that, especially at the last minutes of the game. Second time this season that I've been able to get on the score sheet, and really pleased to help the team. With how hard we've all worked and pushed right to the end today.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
On this side as well.
Goodness me, this Premier League weekend that just keeps on giving. Gary O'Neill thought he was so close to a precious point for Wolves and the champions dropping points in 3 or 4 league games, until that man, again, just as he did against Arsenal, popped up to eventually get a goal that did stand, that sends Manchester City back to the top of the Premier League. And before second place Liverpool play 6th place Chelsea, they are 2 clear of Arne Slot's side. Well, big, deep intake in breath from Pep Guardiola. 18 corners, as we heard. It goes to Phil Foden, who took it. For John Stones to score it, what a moment that could be, even at this stage of the season, Joe.
Yeah, no, you've got to live in the now. I believe we're going to be talking in May at some point, and all sorts will have gone down. But right now, that's a huge moment, especially with what happened yesterday at Bournemouth, with what's about to go on, in the next 45 minutes. That's a big moment for Manchester City. Kept knocking on the door, didn't they? Corner after corner. Was it 18 or 19 corners? And that's what it takes, all the quality, all the tactics you want, whip it into the 6-yard box. Johnny Stones, bosh.
Listen, when you've won your titles, you get to the end, as Joe says in May, and you think about certain games. I mean, that has all the hallmarks of being one of those, Frank, doesn't it, that moment?
Yeah, I mean, look at the celebrations there and the feeling. The one thing you can always be sure with City is that they'll keep doing what they do. Even when everyone's asking them to cross it into the box, they keep applying pressure and pressure. They had 3 or 4 corners there at the end of the game. Sometimes maybe you get what you deserve. And so I think they had probably less threat in the second half. The change of the wingers didn't really work, a bit less effective, but they keep going, and they've got that quality. Great delivery from Foden, John Stone, brilliant contact, and of course it was the right decision to leave it as a goal.
I think that's the most important thing, Steve. The right decision was reached. It was a legitimate goal, regardless of whether Bernardo Silva was standing there.
You said that straight away.
Yeah, he gets out of the way. The goalkeeper is not affected by it. It's a goal, and you don't want decisions like that to start affecting games. The referee stayed strong. He gave the on-field decision. Was told to go and have a look, but kept with his decision, and it was the right decision.
Let's have a look at it then. Phil Foden with the corner. City's 18th of the game. And John Stones is there again.
Well, previous to that, 3 poor corners by Man City standards by Jack Grealish. Ball swirled in the wind, just looking at the way, the boys' hairs are blowing like that. That was a tough game, tough atmosphere, tough environment. Phil Foden, like I say, just on the money. It's nothing special. It really isn't anything special. All the great stuff they've done today, put it into an area, John Stones has backed off, incredible contact, and a vital goal. And all of us, we couldn't believe it when it went to VAR, but fair play to the referee, stayed strong and gave the right decision.
Yeah, and I think that's what we all want on this, Frank, isn't it? Stuart Atwell in VAR has said to him, Chris, go and have a look, I want you to make sure. And he was absolutely
I don't think it should be a fact that if you get sent to the monitor, you have to agree with the decision. I think we respect the referees that actually stick to their guns and see it with... Part of the reason it says to get 2-3 different angles. Bernardo Silva is smart. He affects the goalkeeper in the first phase, but once John Stones makes contact, he's getting out of the way of the keeper. There's no change to what the keeper would do to try and save that shot. It's close quarters.
Did the linesman give off? Now I think about it, he looks like he referred to going to the monitor. I think the linesman gave offside, so he had to go to the monitor.
No, we're hearing that the referee gave the goal.
Oh, really?
And it was VAR that asked him to go to the monitor.
What could they possibly send him for?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he just wants to double check, John, just to cover his own back. Yeah, as Frank said, a little bit of contact there, but when you see the shot from behind the goal or in front of the goal, you see Bernardo Silva is clearly out of the way at the point of contact. And they've just covered their own back. Stuart Atwell, have a look just in case. He goes over and, as he said, he makes the right decision. No problem about that at all.
And Manchester City win the game and go to the top of the Premier League.
Gary O'Neill shaking hands with the City players, but his remonstrations with the officials got him a yellow card in the aftermath of Manchester City's winner. They go to the top of the Premier League table with that goal. Pep Guardiola and his players absolutely delighted. A goal pretty much the last kick of the game, but in controversial circumstances. Let's remind ourselves of how this happened. The header itself is fairly clear. What we're looking at here is whether or not there was interference from Silva. Micah?
I would like to see a goal be given for this, because I don't think there's too much contact. But the fact of the matter is, he's still in the keeper's way. So it has affected the play, in my opinion. So I think we need to go back to the word of like consistency. Sometimes you see him give him, sometimes not. But you see
is
there
it
the
that
way
nudge?
It's just that nudge that sends him off balance. Then he's not set. So I understand why Wolves would feel aggrieved in this particular moment.
So here's the law. They're either preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing their line of vision, or if they challenge the opponent, or if they try to play a ball which is close when this action impacts it, or making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability of an opponent to play the ball. Now, I would argue it's that fourth one, which is the one that we're looking at. Daniel, do you think a forward player should be able to interact with the goalkeeper like that when in an offside position?
That used to be my role, to be fair, and Bernardo's played it perfectly because he's timed it as the header's gone into the back of the net. He's off the goalkeeper, so it's almost as if, like, I've done my job, guys, but I've not impacted it. For me, I do believe he has affected the goalkeeper slightly, if I'm being honest. I do believe that, because it's the timing of the header. If you look here, the timing, Bernardo's still in control, he's still touching him, he's had to push him away, and now the ball, he's almost going back in his line to set himself, and of course, so I think it's more so the fight, I need you off my body, and in the end, there's too much power on the header, of course, so to me, I do believe he has impacted the goalkeeper's ability to save it.
So the assistant referee flagged for that as offside in the game itself, and then the referee was sent over to look at the monitor and to judge whether or not Bernardo Silva was in an offside position, and also affected the ability of Jose Zá to be able to save that goal. It was decided that wasn't enough, and that's why the Manchester City players are celebrating as Pep Guardiola and Bernardo Silva almost reenact the situation there for us. But we've seen the replay, so we're all good. But Pep Guardiola talking Bernardo Silva off with one of those intense discussions that he so often has at the final whistle. Manchester City then take all 3 points, and it means that for now at least they are back to the top of the Premier League table. If Liverpool want to reclaim that spot from them, they're going to have to beat Chelsea. They're in action at 4:30. Chelsea, though, with a chance to go level on points with Aston Villa and with Arsenal. Because their goal difference is better than both of those teams, a win for Chelsea would take them into third place and just a point behind Liverpool. But Gary O'Neill furious at that decision, which cost his side a point, and points absolutely precious for Wolves, because that means their goal difference is now minus 13, and that takes them to the bottom of the Premier League table with just 1 point from their opening 8 matches.
Hello and welcome along to the game between the Manchester City against the Wolves side. Today there is something else happens between the Manchester City and the Wolves side. There's a 1-1 goal for each side. Wolves have just 1 goal. Manchester City have also won. 74 minutes has been completed and there is no such a lead from any of the side. So Wolves has a very good side. Will Manchester City score the goal and upgrade their ranking on the Premier League points table? Because if they does not score the goal, it means they will lose 2 more points on the Premier League points table. So these are all the news that we have discussed. Guardiola takes the goal on the charge. Now what the Wolves do? Wolves has some strong lineup. Jay Strand-Larsen scored the goal at the 7 minute. Guardiola has an equalizer, and 33 minute the game has been ended. The game has been drawn as an equalizer. So there is the Silva has been ready to make the substitution. 16 minutes has been left in the game and there is no such substitution that has to see. Okay, 77 minutes has been completed and there is no such a goal between the Wolves and the Manchester City. Okay, what about the lineups that we have seen? The lineup we have seen from the Wolves side as the Jay Shaw. Brilliant saves today. So Jay Shaw has a brilliant saves today against the Manchester City. They has a very brilliant passes. Jay Shaw has a brilliant saves in that game. Bruno and Dawson, T. Gomez, these 3 are the players that served as the defensive lineup. Now what about the 5 midfield in which Alit, Nouri, Lamina, Andre, G. Gomez and Samido. 5 players. These are involved in what? These are involved in the midfield lineup. Jay Strand-Larsen and Kunha is the player that has been served as the main striker against the Wolves side. So these are all the states that we have discussed it. Now from the Manchester City side there is an Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is the man who can score the goal. Jacob Doku, Ben Silva, Gundogan and Ben Silva, Savio, and these 4 are the players that has been served as the man attacking lineup. While in the midfield there's one player which Kobovic has been named. Jay Guardiola, the only one who has been scored the goal. Ruben Diaz, Jay Stones and Olivius, these are the players that has been served as a defensive lineup. Now there is another player who has been named as the Addison. 4-1-4-1 positioning has been made against the Wolves side. But Wolves has some different strategy. 3 defense lineup, 5 midfield and 2 attacking lineup. They are the whole lineup that we have seen. So what will happen? What will happen if Manchester City can't win the goal, can't score the goal? Can't score the goal. So Manchester City has some different form and what they will respond, how they would respond to the game. Okay, so these are the all states that we have discussed it, and see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.